today's video, we'll be looking at crazy conspiracy theory TikToks that will shatter your reality.
We have the Chicago World Fair of 1893.
Yo. My man's look like he just got out of a boxing match with a cat.
And all this was built on just under 700 acres. All these buildings, which are huge and beautiful, things we could not build today. And we were on horse and buggy back then. How we did this, I have no idea. And then after the World Fair, shortly after, it somehow, I believe, burnt down. And they had them in St. Louis and Philadelphia and all these world fairs with all these extravagant buildings, which we have no idea how they were built. And they were all destroyed in every single town, which is weird. Let's look at more. Now look at this architecture.
Look at that. Look at that grand architecture, y'all. Just take a minute to let that sit in. Think about the Chicago now and think about that. That looks amazing. Just imagine going to downtown Chicago and that's what you walk into, right? And then if you look at the people all around, they don't look as if they can create these magnificent buildings, in all honesty. And the crazy thing about it is it's not just Chicago. These world fairs was all over the United States. I'm pretty sure it was just the US. And they all burned down or were tore down after a few months, so it doesn't really make sense.
We were riding horse and buggy. We cannot build this stuff today. I mean, you see the crap we build nowadays. Big square buildings. Square high rises. Look at the detail in that work. Let's look at some more. Check that out. This is 1893. And there was electricity in all of this as well. Mm-hmm. This thing was lit up like a Christmas tree. Here goes our little god, whatever one they want to worship. It's like I don't know which one that is. I'm not too good with my gods. I only know one right above us. But look at this. Look how big this building is. All of this was built in like less than a year for this World Fair, and then it was destroyed, is the story that they're telling you. There's a lot more to our history that they are not telling us. Mm-hmm. Let's look at some more. Look at this stuff. Literally built this to have it standing for like 6 months for it to be destroyed.
Crazy, right? So my theory is this, right? They always say that, somewhere they added 1,000 years or we lost 1,000 years or whatever the situation may be. What if this was built in the 800s, right? And they're saying that it was built in the 1800s. And they're telling all these people to come look at it one last time, basically because we're about to destroy all of this. I could see that happening, because 1,000 years time to build this makes more sense than 2 years.
That is an incredible piece of work. So this is why I don't trust our schooling, our NASA, our government. Why was something this beautiful built to stand for 6 months for a world fair and then destroyed? And all the other ones around the world were destroyed as well. That makes no sense. I don't know what happened because it's not in our history, but this is something to question. Check it out.
It's crazy, y'all. I would definitely look into the world fairs if y'all interested.
Let's talk about digital ID. We've all had those people that when you mention it, they say, bro, everything's already digital. You do your banking online and everything. What's the big deal? And that's exactly how the system has brainwashed you to think about it. Because the truth is, it's much more than just your identification that's going down digitally. It means that they're going to get rid of the entire monetary system as we know it and replace it with digital currency, meaning 100% control. So when they start pushing the climate change bullshit, and you go to the butcher and would like to buy a little too much steak to fill your freezer, I'm just going to tell you that red meat increases your carbon footprint too much and you're not allowed to do that. Next thing you know, Poof, you can't access your funds. Maybe you want to put gas in your car twice in a week. Nope, not gonna allow you to do that shit either. So this is the entire problem that we have been trying to explain to you about digital ID. Because we all know that it is just the start to something really fucking sinister. This will be the birth of full society control worldwide. Immediately after that comes your social credit score. Then what are you gonna do? All you have to do is have an opinion and they just shut everything off. Just like that, you no longer exist. You can't feed you, nor your kids, or your family, till you smarten up. And believe me, the terms and conditions that you'll have to follow to get yourself out of the hole, promise you will fucking suck. For all those who don't see this as a big problem, give your head a shake. Wake the fuck up.
Hey y'all, what's crazy is they already are doing this in China. They already have a social credit score. Like, if you go to the grocery store and you get a loaf of bread and you look at it and you're like, I don't want this loaf, and you put it back somewhere that's not supposed to be, ding, you got a hit on your social credit score. It's crazy as that, y'all. So I hope that this isn't where we're going, but kind of seems like that, right?
You're not going to go anywhere till I show you something. He played some videos that showed clearly hidden cameras in different locations with extremely prominent people being videotaped having sex with minors. Most prominent one that stood out to me, besides Bill Clinton and all that, when I saw Hillary Clinton involved with 3 underage females,
what?
I couldn't believe it. I saw Prince Andrew. There's key clips clearly showing the face of the people and what they were doing for like 5 minutes, and then another one, and then another one. It was like a montage.
Yo, that's how they control them, man.
I'll give you a little advanced warning. There's going to be a flying saucer crash on Hollywood Boulevard. What concerns me is a future false flag. All they got to do is make a hologram projection appear over a city, and it would look like a scene from Independence Day where you have a huge craft hanging over the city, and people might say, please, government, take the last of my liberties so you can protect me.
Man, that hologram stuff is crazy.
This don't make sense. You're trying to tell me that they built this in 3 years, and after 6 months, they ripped it down. So for the people that don't know what this is, the Chicago's World Fair in 1893 was one of the city's most famous and infamous events, often called the fair that changed America. Now, why would you call something that?
Right.
27 million people went to this event to see elevators, the zipper, Cracker Jacks, the Ferris wheel, the first voice recorded.
I seen videos back in the day, and it was like around the same time, the 1800s. They had Skype calls, y'all. Not technically Skype, but video calls. Meaning you can go to a little booth, grab the phone, and you'd be able to see the person you're talking to on the other end. This is the late 1800s, early 1900s. They have this type of technology. Out of nowhere, it just disappears, and then they reintroduce it in the 2000s. So, I don't know, man. The technology back then was just crazy. It's all just like, it's a big conspiracy, you know what I mean? And you just gotta, it's just too much to like dissect.
The first voice recording? What? They even had a giant golden statue. Some people say it was gold plated, some people say it was solid gold, and some people say it was just fake. So the mainstream narrative says they built all of this just to host a fair, a bit like Disneyland. That don't look like the Disneyland to me.
Nah.
They're saying that it wasn't solid brick, it was only like plastering. That don't look like plastering to me. That looks like stone. 690 acres of land. They said it would take 2 weeks just to walk around and look at every exhibit. 2 weeks. They nicknamed this the White City because of how bright the electric lights shined at night. Don't these buildings look familiar? You see these buildings all over the world. This is the construction work of the Tatarian Empire, and that is the real reason why they ripped these buildings down.
I make this video for the people that don't know who this is, and especially our women that decide to worship the wrong people. I know y'all heard the story about how the way she shapeshifted in front of a lot of people. And then, as you can read, her official world website posted this right here, as you see behind me. This is what it says up close, as y'all see right here in the bold statement. It says, earlier this week, the Queen was seen by thousands of people in a form they are not acquainted with. We seek to assure the public that the Queen is still a queen and remains a respected and loved figure that they always have known. While she may not be human, she is a devoted leader and monarch, and she believes the subjects will grow to accept her and her family for what they are.
Yo, they just told us right there. They said, while she may not be human. It's the same thing like with Mark Zuckerberg when he said, I used to be human. What are y'all trying to tell us? You know, you think we stupid? Think that we don't see, can't read between the lines? Man, what's going on? And why'd you delete it if that's the case? You know, if it's something just, oh, we're not, you know, she's a queen, so we're not saying she's a regular human. Why would you delete it off of your website? What you trying to hide?
Just think about that. What I've been telling y'all this whole time. And of course you got Putin right here. And we already see what's happening right now with Putin. I mean, just think about this. Read this. Look how the way she literally touched this man. Like, he don't even want to be nowhere near around her. If you ever look at any of those meetings that you see all the world leaders in, he's always on the other side of the room. Like, this is real. This is serious. And Putin is obviously, he may not be in this crew with these people. Hence this war and everything going on. This is why. But take time and read this.
Okay, y'all gonna have to screenshot these because
I'm about to add a video to this explaining how much power she really have, and it's gonna blow y'all mind. But it shouldn't surprise y'all if y'all accept who she really is.
The media has misled the public into believing that Queen Elizabeth II is a symbolic ceremonial figurehead with little or no real power. That she is a cold but harmless old relic who passes her time sipping tea at the palace. Nothing could be further from the truth. As British monarch, Queen Elizabeth II is the wealthiest, most powerful person on earth. She embodies the crown and supreme world power. Presidents of the United States are forbidden any title of nobility and are subservient to the monarch. The U.S. President is Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces based at Camp David, which is known to insiders as Camp King David. Prime ministers in Commonwealth nations like Canada and Australia are also subservient representatives of the British king or queen. They are her spokesmen. The Governor-Generals of the Queen's Commonwealth nations represent and exercise the Queen's power on her behalf. What the general public doesn't realize is that their leaders are only representatives of the monarch and do not possess the power. They exercise the power. They do not reign, they rule.
So basically they saying the Queen runs everything.
Here's what to do if you ever observe a nuclear explosion. After the bomb has been detonated, it will form what is known as a mushroom cloud. And the size of this mushroom cloud is what you will use to determine whether or not you are safe where you're standing. This is called the rule of thumb for nuclear explosions. Let's say you observe the explosion out of your window. What you're supposed to do is take your thumb and hold it over the mushroom cloud. If your thumb completely covers the mushroom cloud, then you are safe. But if not, run for your life.
I hope I never see a mushroom cloud like ever.
What do you think? Right there.
Right where, Tor?
Right there. Is
that it, Tor? Right?
You actually don't stand between tracks.
What is it? Is it somebody in the bushes? Something in the bushes? Uh-oh.
We saw.
Yeah, that's why I ain't messing with no camping, no woods, no none of that. It's not where I'm from, y'all.
If only they let me share this video right now. They muted the sound. Have y'all heard?
So about 2 weeks ago, I met a man who had gone to prison for hacking. And he kind of shared with me that he has now been contracted by the Federal Reserve to consult on the rollout of the digital dollar.
Hey, ain't that crazy, right? You know, they'll lock you up for some stuff like that, right? For hacking. But then they're like, you know, this guy's pretty good. Let's hire him on our team. So they hired a criminal. Kind of like in the Bad Boys 2 movie where they went to that one nerdy guy and he was like, hey, I need courtside tickets to the Heat game. And he's like, all right, we got you. Just make sure you do what you're supposed to do. So, I don't know. I just want to throw that out there, man. It's just wild to me.
And what they decided to do was allocate $500 million in digital currency and give $100 a month to people who live in the projects for the next 2 years. And the thought process behind this is if Black people can learn how to use the digital dollar, then they'll roll it out to the rest of the world. Because they know that in order for something to reach mass adoption, the Black community has to adopt it.
You know what's crazy about that, y'all, is that the black community has so much power. Don't even know it, right? That's why they got to do this, because we're supposedly the biggest consumer, yet we're a minority. That's the big lie right there. We're not a minority and never were. We got to understand our power out here, y'all.
What in the mark of the beast is this shit? What in the mark of the beast is this shit? What in the mark of the beast is this shit? What in the mark of the beast is this shit?
What? Yo, pay with your palm? I ain't never seen nothing like that, man. That's what the world coming to. I'm good, man. I'm gonna leave my DNA and my palm prints to myself and to my iPhone. But yeah, guys, these are some of the most crazy TikTok conspiracy theories that are out there. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bell on, and until next time, YouTube, peace.